Hello, everyone. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. This is my legislative update for January 21 through 25 for 2019. I really hope this information will help you to communicate with your member of Congress about some of the important work that our Congress will tackle next week. Just a note, the source of the information comes from congress.gov and also from majorityleader.gov. Those are two of the sites that I use for looking at the legislation each week. I encourage you to go to those sites to look at any detailed information about the bills that I talk about or anything else that's happening in Congress. So let's go ahead and get started. The Senate, one of the key things that I found they'll be working on next week is on S.1. S1 is a motion to proceed on a bill that is titled Strengthening America's Security in the Middle East. There are 9 Republicans co-sponsoring the bill at this point and no Democrats. The summary of the bill, there's 4 points that they'll be debating next week. As part of the bill, authorizing assistance and weapons transfers to Israel, extending defense cooperation with Jordan, establishing sanctions related to the conflict in Syria, and allowing states to divest from entities that are boycotting Israel. Again, if you go to congress.gov S.1, you can look at more detail and contact your member of Congress if you have a position on either side of that issue. Obviously, they'll also be continuing the bills associated with the shutdown and appropriations, talking about potentially the proposal made by the president to the Democrats to end the shutdown and get money for border security and physical barriers. That will happen both in the Senate and in the House next week. The House will also vote on 16 bills and 1 resolution. The legislation, those bills will cover aspects of appropriations. Again, the Democrats probably putting forward some more money for border security in hopes of ending the shutdown. They'll also be working on bills related to agriculture, government operations, foreign affairs. There's some bills dealing with finance and financial aspects of the economy and some homeland security bills. Besides the appropriation bills that they'll work on in the House, one bill that stands out for me and where I'll be contacting my member of Congress with my position on H.R. 676. That particular bill is reiterating Congress's support of NATO, and I think that's pretty important. It's likely to pass on a voice vote, but certainly I want to let my member of Congress know that I support NATO. And right now there are 5 Democrats and 5 Republicans co-sponsoring that bill. One last note, I wanted to let you know that there have been 1,029 bills introduced into the 116th Congress in the House as of this point. If you go to congress.gov, there's a link in the upper right-hand corner titled Legislation, and you can, on the left-hand side, then filter the 116th Congress, and you can see the 1,029 bills that have been introduced so far, and you can look at that and look at any more detail on all of those bills. And on the left-hand side, you can also filter types of bills, different members of Congress, etc. There's lots of ways to look at those bills, but 1,029 so far. So that's my update for this week coming up. I hope that the information is helpful in terms of sources and some key things that are happening, and that you'll contact your member of Congress And I look forward to more of these updates, and we'll see you next week.